Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be talking about something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. AI that can generate entire video game worlds in real time.
Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff.
And to talk us through this, we have an expert on AI in gaming. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
So we're looking at this article about two companies, Descartes and Etched, that are using AI to build a version of Minecraft. But it's not just any Minecraft. This is Minecraft where you can literally tell the game what you want, like add a giant talking banana, and it'll just happen right in front of you.
Yeah, the idea is to make the game world completely interactive and responsive to the player's imagination.
Like total creative freedom. But how does it actually work? I mean, that sounds incredibly complex.
It is, but the core concept is actually pretty simple. They're using something called next frame prediction.
Next frame prediction.
Yeah, it's a technique where the AI basically learns to predict what should happen next in the video sequence based on what's already happened.
So they're not actually programming the AI with all the rules of Minecraft.
No, they're just feeding it a massive amount of gameplay data, like hours and hours of people playing Minecraft. And from that data, the AI learns to recognize patterns and predict what will happen next.
So it's like the AI is watching a Let's Play and figuring out the game on its own. That's crazy.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that this technique isn't limited to just gaming. It has potential applications in all sorts of video generation.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, imagine movies or TV shows that change based on your choices as a viewer.
Like a choose-your-own-adventure movie.
Exactly. Or educational simulations that adapt to how a student is learning, giving them personalized challenges and feedback.
So this could revolutionize not just entertainment, but also education, training, all sorts of fields.
Exactly. The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this is such a big deal. Now, I know Etched is developing this new chip, Sohu, that's specifically designed for this type of AI. And they're claiming some pretty amazing performance boosts with it.
Yeah, they're saying it could be up to 10 times faster than existing AI chips.
10 times. That sounds almost too good to be true. But before we get into the specifics of Sohu, can we back up a bit? The article kept talking about this distinction between training and inference. Can you explain what those terms mean in this context?
Sure. So training is the phase where you're feeding the AI all that data so it can learn the rules of the game, the physics, everything it needs to know.
Like teaching it how to play Minecraft.
Right. And then inference is the part where the AI actually uses that knowledge to generate something new, like predicting the next frame in a video game.
Okay, so training is like school and inference is like going out into the real world and using what you've learned.
Exactly. And Sohu is designed to be really good at the inference part.
So it's not a general purpose AI chip, it's specifically optimized for taking what the AI has learned and using it to create these real-time experiences.
Yeah, and that specialization allows them to make some interesting design choices. Like, for example, Sohu uses a single-core architecture.
Wait, single core. Isn't the trend in chip design to cram in as many cores as possible?
Yeah, that's true for most AI chips, which are designed to be good at both training and inference.
Hmm.
But for real-time inference, having one really powerful core can actually be more efficient. It's like having a team of specialists versus one highly skilled generalist. Sometimes that focused expertise can be the key.
So Sohu is like the master craftsman who's honed their skills to perfection.
Uh,
Interesting. So by focusing on single core and optimizing for inference, they're hoping to make Sohu a lean, mean, real-time video generation machine. I'm starting to see why they're so excited about it. But let's get back to that 10 times performance boost claim.
sure.
What makes them so confident they can achieve that kind of improvement?
Well, their argument is that most AI chips are designed to be jacks of all trades, capable of both training and inference, but not necessarily excelling at either. Sohu, on the other hand, is laser-focused on inference, and its single-core design allows it to handle the complex mathematical operations involved in next-frame prediction much more efficiently. It's not just about brute force, it's about finesse and optimization.
Ah, so it's a classic tale of specialization versus generalization. While other chips are trying to be good at everything, Sohu is doubling down on being the best at one very specific thing: real-time, AI-powered content creation.
And that focus could have ripple effects beyond just performance. They're also claiming it could drastically reduce the cost and energy needed to run these kinds of AI applications.
Now, that's something I can definitely get behind. If they can make this technology more accessible and affordable, it opens up a whole world of possibilities. But I have to admit, the gamer in me is still most curious about the AI Minecraft demo itself. How does it actually work in practice? Like, what's it like to play?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Because remember, this AI hasn't been explicitly programmed with the rules of Minecraft. It's learned them through observation. And sometimes that leads to some unexpected results.
You mean like the AI making stuff up?
Yeah, exactly. The article called them hallucinations.
Hallucinations. Okay, now I have to hear more about this. What kind of crazy things is the AI creating?
So the article mentions these new types of blocks.
Hmm?
The AI just kind of makes them up, blocks that float in midair or that change color depending on the time of day.
Whoa, that's trippy. It's like the AI is inventing its own version of physics for the game.
Exactly. It's like it's come up with its own rules for how the world works.
But if the AI is just making stuff up, how playable is the demo?
Well, that's one of the limitations right now. The resolution is pretty low, and the AI tends to get a little too creative after a while. It can only handle short bursts of gameplay.
So it's like a proof of concept more than a finished product.
Exactly. And remember, this is running on existing hardware. Once Sohu comes into play, things could change dramatically.
Okay, so smoother gameplay, higher resolution, and maybe fewer AI-induced glitches.
Potentially. And imagine what those hallucinations could become with more processing power behind them. Instead of just being weird glitches, they could actually turn into new gameplay mechanics.
Whoa, so we're not just talking about AI creating content, we're talking about AI coming up with new ways to play the game.
Exactly. It's like the AI is becoming a game designer itself.
That's mind-blowing. But you mentioned earlier that Etched is hoping this technology could be used for more than just gaming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They see a ton of potential applications in other fields.
Like what?
Well, one example they gave was education. Imagine an AI tutor that can adapt to your learning style in real time.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all lesson, the AI would tailor the experience to each student.
Exactly. It could change the pace, the content, even the visual style, the learning materials based on how the student is responding.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal tutor who knows exactly how you learn best.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to next frame prediction. The AI could analyze a student's past interactions and predict how they're likely to react to different types of teaching methods.
So it's less about pre-programming every possible scenario and more about giving the AI the tools to learn and adapt on its own.
Exactly. And that same approach could be applied to other fields as well. The article even mentioned the possibility of real-time virtual doctors.
AI doctor.
Yeah, AI-powered assistants that could analyze your symptoms, answer questions, and provide basic medical guidance, all based on the latest medical research.
Wow, that's both incredibly exciting and a little bit scary. I mean, we're talking about AI potentially being involved in healthcare decisions.
It's definitely a sensitive area and one that would require careful consideration and regulation.
Absolutely. But think about the potential benefits, especially in areas with limited access to healthcare. An AI doctor could provide basic diagnoses, triage patients, and connect them with human doctors for more complex cases.
Right? It could really help bridge the gap in healthcare access.
It's a powerful example of how this technology could be used to make a real difference in the world.
Exactly. And it highlights the fact that this technology isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or ill, depending on the intentions of the people using it.
It's like that old saying, technology is a tool, not a solution.
Yeah, we have to be mindful of the potential downsides as well.
Absolutely. I mean, if AI is creating so much of the content we consume, what does that mean for things like bias, representation, even the spread of misinformation?
Those are all valid concerns. AI is only as good as the data it's trained on, so if that data is biased or incomplete, the AI will reflect those biases,
So garbage in, garbage out.
basically. That's why it's so important to make sure that the data sets used to train these AIs are diverse, representative, and carefully vetted for accuracy.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the human choices that go into developing and using it.
Exactly. We need to be thoughtful, responsible, and proactive in shaping how AI evolves and the role it plays in our lives.
It's like we're at a crossroads. We have this incredibly powerful tool at our disposal, but it's up to us to decide how we use it.
And those decisions will have a profound impact on the future of our society.
Okay, so we've talked about the amazing potential of this technology, but let's be real. There's been some skepticism about Etched's claims, particularly that tenfold performance boost they're promising with Sohu.
Yeah, a tenfold improvement is a pretty bold claim, even in the world of AI hardware, which is constantly evolving.
So is Sohu the real deal or just hype?
Well, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. They're planning to start running projects on Sohu next year, so hopefully we'll have some concrete data soon.
So we'll have to wait and see. But even if they only achieve a fraction of that tenfold improvement, it could still be a game changer.
Absolutely. And the fact that companies like Etched are investing so heavily in this type of specialized AI hardware is a sign that this technology is here to stay.
Yeah, regardless of the specific numbers, the trend is clear. AI is becoming more powerful, more efficient, and more accessible.
And that opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for how we create and interact with digital content.
Which brings us back to the question we started with.
Right.
What do we want this future to look like?
Exactly. How do we want to use this powerful technology to shape the world around us?
It's a question we all need to be thinking about.
Absolutely. The choices we make today will determine the kind of future we create.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about how far AI has come, even in just the past few years. I mean, we've gone from AI that can beat us at chess to AI that can create these whole virtual worlds that feel almost real.
It's really remarkable how fast this technology is developing.
And it sounds like we're only just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much more to come.
And it's not just about, creating these spaces, it's about how we interact with them.
Yeah.
Like, think about the difference between, typing a command into a computer and actually talking to an AI. An AI that understands what you mean and can make it happen in real time.
It's a much more natural and intuitive way to interact with technology, for sure.
Yeah, it's like the difference between using, a hammer and chisel to sculpt something versus like molding clay with your bare hands.
I like that analogy.
There's this like fluidity and this immediacy that we just haven't had before. But all this talk about AI, generating worlds and real-time interaction, it makes me wonder, what happens to human creativity in all of this?
That's a great question, and it's one that a lot of people are asking.
Right, like if AI can create these amazing experiences, on its own, do we even need human game designers or filmmakers or artists anymore?
That's a big question, but I don't think AI is going to replace human creativity anytime soon. If anything, I think it's going to amplify it.
How so?
Well, imagine having an AI partner that can help you brainstorm ideas or visualize concepts, or even generate rough drafts or prototypes.
So it's like a creative assistant.
Exactly.
That could really speed up the process.
It would free up human creators to focus on the things that AI can't replicate. Things like emotional depth and storytelling, the unique spark of human ingenuity.
So instead of seeing AI as a threat, we should think of it as a collaborator.
I think that's a really good way to put it.
Like a tool that can help us push the boundaries of what's creatively possible.
Exactly. It's like the invention of the camera.
Yeah.
It didn't replace painters. It gave them a new tool to capture reality and explore new forms of artistic expression.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
AI could have a similar impact on all sorts of creative fields.
But let's be honest, there are some potential downsides to all of this, right?
Of course.
I mean, if AI is creating so much of the content we consume, what does that mean for things like bias or representation, even the spread of misinformation?
Right, those are all valid concerns and things we need to be very mindful of as this technology develops.
Like, how do we ensure that AI-generated content is fair and accurate?
Well, AI is only as good as the data it's trained on. So if that data is biased or incomplete, the AI will reflect those biases.
So garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to make sure that the data sets used to train these AIs are diverse and representative. And carefully vetted for accuracy.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the human choices that go into developing it and using it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
We need to be thoughtful and responsible and really proactive in shaping how this technology evolves.
And the role it plays in our lives.
Okay, so to kind of wrap up our deep dive into the world of AI-powered Minecraft and the future of real-time video generation, I think the key takeaway here is that we're at the beginning of a technological revolution, one that has the potential to change not just entertainment, but potentially every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as we navigate this new frontier, it's crucial that we approach it with both a sense of wonder and a healthy dose of caution.
Right, like this is exciting stuff, but we need to be aware of the risks as well.
AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. The choices we make today will determine what kind of future we create.
So as always, the deep dive doesn't end here. We've explored the technology, the possibilities, and the potential pitfalls. But the real question is, what do you think? What excites you about the future of AI? What concerns you? And most importantly, what role do you want to play in shaping that future? Those are the questions I hope you'll continue to think about long after this deep dive is over. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.